Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to walk you through a full day of eating. I've been trying to be a lot more mindful of what I put in my body. I've been trying to increase my protein intake, so I was like, you know what? Why not walk you through a full day of eating with me today? I am vegetarian, just so you are aware, so most of these meals will be plant-based. For breakfast, I'm having baked oats. I swear by them. Make sure that you preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or around 350 Fahrenheit. Was 24 grams of protein. I'm trying my best to get all my meals to be around 20 to 25 grams of protein, you know, in between that range. If I can get to 30, that's perfect, but usually that's a little bit harder for me. I use an app to track macros and protein and calories, all of that. Normally, I have it on the settings of protein like this. I did have to pay to get access to a more detailed information, but I feel like I paid $12 for a year. They're always having sales, so you know, you do you. I use the app, lose it. I'll make sure to put it up here in case you are interested in getting it. But yeah, that was my breakfast. Okay, so for lunch, I was thinking of having this Mexican bowl. I already have rice. I already have black beans cooked. And I also have guacamole made. So all I really have to do is chop some mango, chop some peppers, and make this plant-based taco filling. This is what it looks like. It's really delicious, and it's done in like 5 minutes. So lunch was about 12 grams of protein, which isn't the best, but I'll make sure to compensate it on my afternoon snack and on my dinner. I already know what I want for my afternoon snack. I've been obsessed with toast and cottage cheese with some spices on top, some chili, and then with some honey. Oh my god, it's so good. And yeah, cottage cheese, I didn't know this, but it has so much protein. It is so low in calories, so that is exactly what I'm gonna have. And if I feel like I need some extra protein, I will go ahead and have a cup of soy milk. I love soy milk. Again, very high in protein. You get the drill, you see where I'm going. You kind of know my goal at this point. And for dinner, I'm still deciding. I still don't know what I'm gonna make, but maybe I'm gonna have some oven roasted vegetables with some pasta, spaghetti, and with some tofu. You know, very simple, very tasty. And hopefully I'll be between 80 to 95 grams of protein, but I'll check with you guys at the end of the day. Quickly talk about the books that I've read the past month. If you don't care about this, just skip to this time or just check the description box. I'm currently reading Normal People from Sally Rooney, and the only reason why I decided to read the book and give the book a try is because I am obsessed with the TV show. That show is hands down on my top 5 shows of all time. Definitely not for everyone. If you've never heard about it, which I doubt, but if you've never heard about it, it goes about the life of these two characters, Marianne and Connell, and just their love story. Pretty much that's it. From when they're teenagers to young adults, and it's so interesting. The show, for me, it's beautiful because you have the love, you have the hurting, you have the awkwardness that you get when, you know, you're in the process of falling in love with someone and being in love with someone. And I just love the story so much. I'm like this far in, still have a little bit to read, but I'm gonna read it tonight. And then tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be done with it. So I started off the year by listening to Viola Davis' audiobook, Finding Me, and I absolutely loved the audiobook. I think that if you have the opportunity, definitely listen to it. It really is just a book of her life, her explaining everything that she went through, how she got to where she is right now. It is beautiful. It is such an inspirational book. It touches on so many delicate things, and I'm so beyond thankful that she was vulnerable enough to share that with people, because she is a definition that if you really want something and you really fight for that something, you will get it. That's how I see it, and reading that book really inspired me to keep, you know, pushing myself and go and follow my dreams and goals. So yeah, I definitely recommend everyone reading that book. It was a 5-star for me, but again, who am I to be rating other people's lives? The second book I read, or the first book that I read, because Finding Me, I listened to it, was The Naturals. I knew I had this book on my want-to reads, but I didn't remember what the story was about. I know there was mystery and criminology involved. I knew obviously there was a little bit of romance, but I didn't know that much about the book. And I really enjoyed it. It was such an easy book to read, very fast-paced. I liked the romance in it. I really enjoyed the ending. Basically, the book goes over a group of teenagers that are called naturals because they have these gifts. Let's take Cassie, the main character, as an example. She can see through people pretty much, you know, she can sense what it is that you're thinking, what it is that you are about to say, things like that. And every other teenager also has another characteristic that is incredibly helpful for the FBI because they can help them, you know, discover criminals or kind of solve these mystery cases. Cassie had gone through a traumatic incident in her life when she was younger, and it kind of goes over, you know, that process of her becoming a natural, her being found by the FBI, and her being in this house with all these other teenagers that are also naturals. There's also this new case that suddenly Cassie is in it and is related into it. Very entertaining, very enjoyable. I rated it 4 stars. And then I read Fourth Wing. And the only reason why I think I didn't rate this book 5 stars was because after I finished it, I didn't think about it anymore. Like, I feel like with movies, for example, or TV shows, I finish watching them, I'm driving, and I think about a specific scene, or I think about how this part was so cute and how I loved the movie because of this, this, and that. And with this book, although I really enjoyed and I loved it, I didn't think about it afterward. During the process of reading it, I kept thinking about it and I really wanted to read it, but once I was done with it, that was it. I'm done with it, let's move on to the next one. So because of that, I ended up rating it 4.5 stars. But let me tell you, this was such an amazing book. And the end was so good. I was not expecting it, but I'm gonna read you the back of the book because, yeah, this book is gigantic. For me to say what it goes over, I'm pretty much gonna be sharing every single detail of the book. 20-year-old Violet Sorrengail is supposed to enter the scrapped quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, her thought-ass Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarre dragon riders. When you're smaller than everyone else and your body's brittle, death is only a heartbeat away. Because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter. Like Xaden Ryerson, the most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She needs every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet, every day the war ongoing grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are failing, and even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Everyone at Basgiath has an agenda, so sleep with one eye open, because once you enter, there are only two ways out: graduate or die. The romance for me, it was so good. I like the romance of like, I hate you, I can't stand you, I want to kill you, blah blah, and then it's like boom, you're in love. You know, that bad boy type of love, I love it. And there was definitely a lot of it in here. I kind of had to get used to the fictional part of the book because there's dragons, there's magic, there's, you know, a lot of that involved. And I'm not used to reading books like that. But then I thought, you know what? I do love movies that have lots of fantasy and fiction involved. So I should definitely give this book a try, and I'm very glad that I did. It's very funny because some parts of this book really reminded me of Divergent. Other parts reminded me of The Hunger Games, but then it has nothing to do with them at the same time. It's weird to explain, but yeah, I really liked all of that. I will say there's spice in this book, and you will be reading for a while until it comes, but it does come eventually. And honestly, the first spice scene I actually enjoyed. I thought it was well written. I thought it was, even though it was very explicit, I actually enjoyed it. Moving on though, I was like, by the end there's this one time that this character thinks something or says something, and I'm like, was that really necessary? So if you don't like that, maybe just skip it, or you know, just have that in mind. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick book talk. Let's go now and have some dinner. To let you guys know yesterday, but my afternoon snack was 20 grams of protein, and then my dinner was 22 grams of protein, I think. So I ended up being 82 grams of protein at the end of the day, which, you know, isn't the best, but it's not the worst either. But yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for sticking and watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Bye.